is Megan Maresca.
And my name is Sophia DeFilippo, and we're in 8th grade at St. Augustine's.
The question we tested was, does colored light affect plant growth? And in this experiment, we had the hypothesis that if plants were put under different colored light, then their growth will be affected because the colored light will provide the plants with more of the aspects that they need than sunlight can.
To begin this experiment, we planted 2 to 3 seeds in each of the 10 pots, and spreaded some seeds in a damp paper towel that was taped to a window. Once the seeds taped to a window sprouted, they were transferred to a pot with soil. After all the plants had sprouted, they were moved to a box with each of the color lights above them and 2 plants to each box. The boxes were made with cardboard and tape. For 11 days, the color light was the only source of light that the plants had, and they were watered with about 60 milliliters of water each day. Over the course of the experiment, we observed the plants and recorded their growth, height, and general appearance.
The materials that we used were 10 pots, corn seed, soil, water, lamps, 40-watt light bulbs that were colored purple, blue, and red, cardboard, and duct tape.
Our results indicated that red light was the most effective. The plants under red light maintained the most consistent growth over the course of the experiment, and when compared to the other plants, we observed that red light had the most growth, despite the fact that there was a sprout under purple light that was taller. This was because the sprout was already the tallest before the start of the experiment. The average growth for one of the plants under red light was 18 centimeters, the average growth for the other plant under red light was 21 centimeters, and the average for both was 19.5 centimeters.
The plants that were placed under purple light grew an average of 15.8 centimeters, which was the second highest growth. Over the course of the experiment, the plants under purple grew at a constant and consistent rate. We observed that the leaves were noticeably darker, and that supports our research that that purple light enhances the color and flavor of a plant. Plant 3 under purple light grew an average of 14.6 centimeters, and plant 4 grew an average of 17 centimeters.
Blue light proved to be the least effective of all the colored lights. At the beginning of this experiment, the plants under blue light thrived and grew rapidly, but eventually their growth started to slow down. From January 31st to February 6th, the growth progressed rapidly, but starting on February 7th, the growth started to decline. The average growth for one of the plants under blue light was 9.5 centimeters, the average for the other plant under blue light was 15.5 centimeters, and the average for both was 12.5.
The plants under sunlight were our control group for this experiment. From the very beginning, these plants grew significantly less than those under colored light. They continued to grow until about the 7th day of germination, and then plants 8 and 9 stopped growing and began to wither. Plants 7 and 10 kept growing slightly, yet only gaining 1.5 centimeters and 2 centimeters until the end of the experiment. Altogether, the average growth for the plants under sunlight was 5.95 centimeters, which is significantly less than those under colored light. To conclude our experiment, we believe that it was effective, and it showed that colored light does positively benefit plants. The plants under red light grew an average of 19.5 centimeters, plants under purple light grew an average of 15.8 centimeters, and the plants under blue light grew an average of 12.5 centimeters. Sunlight, our control group, only grew about the plants under sunlight, our control group, grew only 5.95 centimeters, and 2 of those 4 plants began to die. We also proved our research correct because blue light helped the plants when they first sprouted. The purple light had darker leaves, and red light had the most amount of growth.
Over the course of our experiment, we ran into 2 major problems, the first being the plants we tested this on. We had originally planned to test this on lima bean seeds, but after waiting for about 2 weeks for them to sprout and seeing no progression of growth, we realized we had to switch plants. So we switched to corn seeds and a different method of watering them. The second problem we ran into was our control group. We realized at the close of our experiment that we could have made our control group, which was sunlight, more even to our actual experiment. Instead of keeping them in a window, we could put them under a regular light bulb so they had the same amount of light as our other plants. One question we would test in the future, if we were to expand on this, is does colored light have an effect on a broader range of plants such as flowers, ferns, mushrooms, and herbs? Thank you.